Very, very happy afternoon to all of us. I've always found it difficult to come for the afternoon session. One, because Saturdays and Sundays are full of clients for all counselors and life coaches. So I'm definitely very appreciative of all of you who've arrived for this. How do I introduce Jaisri? As the name suggested, Jay is victory, Shri is wealth, and Raju is royalty. She actually personifies all three. Very wealthy in many respects, primarily because she is so humble and she loves to receive a great learner and wants to do the very best for everybody around her. She takes counsel, she takes mentorship in her stride and doesn't depend too much. Very soon she catches on and she then asks for the next level. So that is what I find wonderful about her. So today, when you actually listen to her, you will hear speed, you will hear clarity, you will hear a lot of jargon that we are very familiar with thrown around with aplomb. So I'm really looking forward to this. She will, however, discuss herself, her family, and how GBP has helped her not just accept her own self, but nurture her own family. I think that is going to be a fantastic learning for all of us today. Welcome once again to each one of you, and thanks, Jaisri, for taking this on at short notice and being here. All the best. Love you.
Thank you, Jaisri, ma'am. Really heartfelt thank you because it was a very beautiful introduction and very kind introduction too. Your support and encouragement actually mean a lot to me, and I'm grateful for the connection and always looking forward for meaningful collaborations also with you. So, good day, folks. It's an absolute joy to be here today and ready to take you on my journey through DDS 1.0. Now, before we dive into all the brainy stuff, let's take a moment to appreciate the amazing people who have made this possible. First up, a huge shout out to Geeta ma'am, my mentor during my time as vice principal at BBM Global. She believed in me even before I knew what I was capable of. I mean, let's be honest, I was probably winging it back then. But seriously, she saw something in me in true mentor fashion, opened the door to a life changing experience, which was my introduction with Jaishree Ganeshan ma'am. Enter Mrs. Jaishree Ganeshan ma'am, a name now that feels like a turning point in my life. Our first, phone call, instant connection. You know, those moments when you feel that you just get someone, that was it. She started telling me about her, incredible journey, her work in education, coaching, about IBM Academy, about her Roots to Roots program, which kind of blends spirituality with practicality, basically the best of both worlds, according to me. Her energy was so infectious that I thought, okay, I need to know more. And then came the fun part. She came all the way to Trichy to kind of meet me and my husband and to get to know more about me. She took a great interest in my chaotic but exciting world. I'm an ex-banker turned educator, now running bouncy house and rescue room Trichy with my husband. All in to provide good old-fashioned screen time, screen-free encouragement, because let's be real, screens have taken over our lives, but we're just trying to ensure that the people in Trichy come back to screen free time at least for smaller periods. uh, Jayashree ma'am, being the powerhouse that she is, immediately saw the potential that bouncy house can have, and she introduced me to MiDNA, and oh boy, she planted the seed for something really big. Her focus was not just into decoding ourselves but also into nurturing, and that kind of appealed to me much more. So buckle up, because what comes next is a ride into self awareness, clarity, and maybe a few aha moments along the way. Yeah. So it all started when I got my GBP scan done by Suresh sir, and I kind of thought, I knew myself pretty well. I had lived with me for decades, right? But when Jayashree ma'am sat with me for decoding session, it wasn't just insightful. It was, let's say, life changing. It was like someone had handed me a user manual to my own brain. GBP didn't just validate what I knew about myself, it also opened up, a whole new world of understanding. For instance, my brain design explained why I actually thrived in pressure situations, in fast paced environments. I could think at lightning speed. I loved tackling challenges. I would wantedly go and, exist in such scenarios. And it perfectly aligned with my life journey. Academics, I wouldn't take too much of, interest, but later in university, I kind of bloomed, and that was so evident in my charts, which I'll show you in the next slide. Growing quickly in my career and constantly craving new challenges. Naturally, I shared all these revelations with my husband also, because when you make an earth shattering discovery, you don't keep it to yourself, right? He got curious, took a scan, and boom, we started decoding not just ourselves, but our entire dynamics as partners, parents. And let's just say, things started making a lot more sense at home. At this point, I take the need to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Ratnasamy sir, the very candid, caring, and visionary founder of MiDNA. Now, his commitment to unlocking human potential through GVP is beyond inspiring. Sir, your work has transformed not just individuals like me, but entire families and professionals. Thank you for giving us the gift of self-awareness. Thank you for helping us put ourselves out there, gaining some clarity. It's an honor to walk this journey under your guidance. Now, back to my story, which, let's be honest, isn't a straight line at all. It's more like a wild roller coaster ride. For starters, I attended 11 schools before settling down in Chennai from fifth grade onwards. I was a pro at making new friends because I wouldn't remember, any harsh conversations at all. Later, I pursued my college education at MOP Vaishnav, and that's where my professional journey actually started kicking off. I started in banking sector, and let me tell you, I was on fire. Promotions came on one after the other. My career was skyrocketing. I was thriving. But as they say, right, when family calls, you answer. So I took a leap of faith, stepped away from the corporate life, and joined MGCV as the primary in charge. Of course, I wasn't done climbing ladders. Within 6 years, I grew, and into a TGT at BVM and eventually becoming the VP operations. Because why take things slow when you can go full speed, right? Then another plot twist, I left that role to support my husband in managing his 60-year-old heritage trading corporation, which while also spearheading CSR initiatives. But life had one more adventure waiting for me, which is entrepreneurship. Um, Along with our franchise partners, we co-founded Balakrida, launching Bouncy House Trichy, Trichy's first ever indoor play area for kids aged 2 to 12. Not stopping there, we also introduced Rescue Room Trichy, city's first real game experience for ages 9 to 99. Because why should only kids have all the fun, right? Both these ventures perfectly aligned with my belief in screen-free entertainment, bringing back real-world fun, for kids, families, and even grown-ups who need a reminder on how to play. But then came My Learning Center, a venture born out of my transition into education. It was a natural progression, a way to create social impact while fulfilling my passion for learning, teaching, and shaping young minds. So that's my story so far, a mix of adventure, purpose, and a never ending quest to make a difference. And trust me, the ride isn't over yet. So, looking at my brain literally, after getting genetic brain profiling scan, I finally understood why I am the way I am. It was like someone handed, the blueprint of my own operating system. And let me tell you, the results were both fascinating and hilariously accurate. If you look at this, my prefrontal is at A1, which is actually the boss mode. So my brain just loves the action. If there is a plan, I'm already executing it before you finish your sentence. Thinking on my feet, check. Turning ideas into reality, double check. The downside, sometimes I might act so fast that my future self has to deal with a lot of consequences. Area I think maybe where I should probably look for is maybe I should take a second to reflect before jumping headfirst into things. My frontal lobe R1, deep thinker, good on, this is where my brain slows down, while my prefrontal lobe is printing, my frontal lobe is sipping tea, pondering life's mysteries, and making sure I don't emotionally bulldoze people. I deeply value harmony. I overthink responses like my life depends on it. I mean, who doesn't, right? The areas where I feel I can develop are decoding faster or deciding faster, which means does it really take 20 minutes to craft the perfect reply to a simple how are you? Because I do that. My parietal R1, A1, the eternal strategist, I would, like to one part of me loves structure, details, planning. The other part is action oriented, fast moving. Like it's my brain is in a constant tug of war. Like let's analyze this and let's just do it already. It's always a fight between that. Now the strength is that I can solve problems and execute them effectively. And the area where I feel I can develop after looking at my GBP was avoiding occasional impulse decisions that kind of make my logical side do a self, face palm. My temporal A1, I mean, I remember conversations at the moment. I remember at the moment because my brain eats up auditory information like a buffet. Just don't ask me where I left my keys or what happened in that conversation 5 days after, because trust me, I won't remember it at all. Development area is I should probably work on my long-term retention, because remembering what you said in 2009 doesn't help if I forgot, if I forget what I was supposed to do today, right? So my occipital lobe is A1. Again, a visual processing. Well, if you tell me something, I might forget. If you show me, I'll remember it forever. My brain is mastering at visualizing concepts and patterns, great for problem solving. Again, the area where I feel I should, come to terms with is making sure I actually fact check my own brilliant ideas, right? So these are my quotients. High spiritual quotient, purpose driven, check, intuitive, double check, always searching for meaning, absolutely. So my spiritual quotient sees that I see the bigger picture even when I get lost in smaller details. High creativity quotient, thinking outside the box isn't just a choice for me, it is my default setting. So my brain loves fresh ideas, wild connections. What if we tried this? I mean, just literally going off the course. High adversity quotient, resilience is my middle name. Knock me down, I'll bounce back stronger, probably with a 5-step plan and a self-motivational speech too. Low IQ, I mean, let's be real, IQ isn't everything, right? My ability to kind of learn and adapt makes more for anything more than my IQ numbers might suggest. So street smarts trumps book smarts any day. Least in emotional quotient, okay. So maybe emotional regulation isn't my strongest suit, but my high SQ and AQ actually helps me constantly improve on it. Now, how this all makes sense is, I was telling you about my childhood flexibility, right? So attending 11 schools across Andhra and Tamil Nadu, making new friends, piece of cake. Packing and unpacking, not so much. I was a backbencher, attitude included, courtesy of being a teacher's daughter. I had mastered the fine art of selective attention, just enough to scrape by without making waves. Safe to say, school and I had a mutual agreement. I wouldn't try too hard and it wouldn't bother me too much. College transformation was almost like my chrysalis movement. Under Dr. Nirmala Prasad's mentorship, I grew into my full potential, balancing academics and work like a pro. Suddenly, I was thriving, excelling academically, balancing work, studies, tapping into my potential, and it was like I finally unlocked the right level in my game of life. Banking career climbed to branch manager in just 6 years, efficiency, leadership, and thirst for growth. It was a perfect fit. Shift to education and entrepreneurship. Turns out my brain was designed for adaptability, ideation, and execution. So every transition was aligned with the way how I am wired. So being A1, actually, this is a shallow water bowl. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you why I've posted these pictures. So being A1, I'm free flowing like the water, adaptable, fast moving, ever changing. Being R1, I'm like this shallow vessel, absorbing what is in front of me, emptying it to make space for the new knowledge. That's probably why I'm always on the lookout for mentors, because I mirror and reflect the best of anyone who guides me the best. And my search for learning will never end. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's my brain in a nutshell, a beautiful, chaotic, endlessly curious, and ever adaptive powerhouse. One of my biggest aha moments was realizing why I'm always on the hunt for mentors. Because I'm basically like the human chameleon, right? Adapting to whatever energy of whoever I'm associated with at that point of time. GBP kindly, finally gave me like, missing puzzle piece. My R1 personality makes me naturally reflective. My short-term memory dominance means I absorb information fast, but need frequent refreshers. So, if I ever ask you the same questions again, just smile, pretend it's the first time, and you will be doing us both a favor. Every strong woman needs a solid support system, and my husband is just that. His GBP report was a revelation. Now I finally understand why we approach things differently, but complement each other so well. He is the logic to my intuition, the structure to my spontaneity, and the reason I sometimes pretend to be organized. Now, my husband's profile revealed a very unique combination of traits with a C3D1, C3C3, A1, A1, A3, A2, and A1, A1 in occipital, with an energy level of 162. He is high on self, picture, and people intelligence with strong introspection. His leadership style is deliberate, humble, and inclusive, perfectly complementing mine. While I lean towards going out, his preferences are more process oriented, task driven, making him the perfect balance in our partnership. His MBTI is an INFJ, reflecting his ability to empathize deeply, work steadily towards meaningful goals, and his EQ more or less, high EQ actually balances my lower EQ. So usually he takes care of the management aspect of the people management aspect in our businesses also. Yeah. So this is my son's. So as a mother, GBP was a gift. So when I analyzed my son's profile, I saw his unique strengths and learning preferences, and it kind of helped me adapt my parenting style, ensuring he grows into the best version of himself rather than the version that I want him to be. I mean, moms, we all can agree that's the hardest part, right? Letting them grow into their own potential. Now, my son has a very vibrant and dynamic profile. Profile is C1C1, X1C3X, R1R1, C3A1, and A1A1 with an energy level of 185. For us, when it comes to the family, we are now able to understand why he is sometimes his energy levels cannot be unmatched. Because if you see, I mean, you'll be seeing in my daughter's one also, he is the one with the highest energy level. So for us, 185 is high. Okay, he excels in cosmic people and self-intelligence, making him very naturally interactive and energetic. His leadership style is commanding, pioneering, energizing, which aligns with his ENTP MBTI. So why with this diverging prefrontal, frontal, and temporal, he's a very creative thinker who thrives on brainstorming and innovating. His career progress index is also fast. He has got high spiritual quotient, good amount of IQ, good amount of creativity quotient. Um, if you look at my daughters, you will understand why I said about the energy level. It also because GVP also helped me, transform my relationship with my daughter. Understanding her load dominance, memory type, and learning preferences helped me shift my approach to nurture her individuality. So my son, I kind of after GBP, we kind of thought that we should, put him to much more focused kind of learning where he'll be given more importance rather than putting. We actually did change schools right now. We are in the process of changing schools because we want him to get the kind of individual attention that he requires to grasp concepts. With my daughter, initially we thought that she was only a creative person, but then we thought that if we teach her the way she is supposed to be taught, for example, Jaisri ma'am gave us this concept of a visual organizer. So when we use that, within a period of 1.5 months, she was able to take in science concepts and she qualified for a national level, state level, camp, science camp. And I felt that that is the most realistic because we ask for results, right? We need more results when it comes to GBP. So this is the most realistic result that I can say how GBP transformed our relationship on the whole. So our daughter, if you look at it, is has a unique and balanced profile: A1 A1, R1 R1, R2 A1, A1 A1, and A1 A1 with an energy level of 48. She shines in body, cosmic, and picture intelligence and has exceptional adversity, creativity, and spiritual quotients. Her leadership style is commanding, pioneering, and energizing. And her prefrontal occipital convergence gives her foresight, while diverging parietal and temporal areas make her highly adaptive and dynamic. So if it's one thing that GBP has taught me, it's that understanding each other is a secret to a much peaceful household. Knowing our families' profiles have saved us from unnecessary debates, helped us respect each other's quirks, and more importantly, prevented me from pulling my hair out when we are all talking at once, which trust me happens a lot. It turns out we are not just a family, we are a dynamic, high energy, sometimes chaotic, ultimately well balanced team, like a puzzle where each piece is wildly different, but somehow fits into each other perfectly. Now, let me just take you through the crew in a very fast, recap. Me, the energetic idea generator, I'm the one constantly brimming with new ideas, spontaneous decisions, enthusiastic. Let's try this. My brain thrives on debate, ideation, touch of good-natured chaos. I love deep conversations, creative problem solving, and make sure life never gets too predictable. Routine, what's that? That's my and a middle name. My husband INFJ, the thoughtful strategist, the quiet anchor to my whirlwind energy. He's introspective, deeply intuitive, and a one who patiently listens to when I throw him 10 ideas at him in 1 minute. He processes everything carefully, which balances my act now think later tendencies. He also reminds me that sleep is important, which I try to follow, but then that is not everything. Not everything in life needs to be an experiment. My son ENTP is a mini me in overdrive. If I ever wondered what it's like to live with a younger, even more energetic version of myself, my son is the answer. He challenges ideas, loves the intellectual debate, is always looking for the next fun challenge. Basically, conversations with him are like a high speed game of mental ping pong from year to year, year to year. My daughter ESTP is a bold adventurer. She's action oriented, hands on, fearless go getter of the family. While I'm busy discussing an idea and my husband is quietly analyzing it, she's already 3 steps ahead, making things happen. She thrives on spontaneity, excitement, and if something is too slow paced, she's already on to the next thing. How we work together, big picture versus details. I throw out grand ideas, my husband refines them, my son debates them for sports, just for the fun of it, and my daughter starts doing them just before we finish discussing it. So, understanding GBP profiles, we get one other takeaway, that is GBP is the tool not just for understanding oneself, but it is also a gateway to unlocking your true potential. Now, here are my key takeaways for you. Know yourself deeply because self awareness is the foundation for growth. Appreciate your uniqueness. Each one of us has a distinct design. Embrace it. Empower relationships. Understanding others through GVP will foster, stronger connections, whether in families, teams, or communities. Pursue your purpose. Knowing yourself, strength, areas of growth can help you align yourself align yourself in leading a meaningful life. So this was a small quadrant that I had put. I mean, this is again just for fun, but again, it's applying GBP in your everyday life. So as a coach and entrepreneur, my GBP guides me into taking decisive actions as a leader, being mindful of my energy levels, prioritizing self-care, which I am struggling with, but I will get through it, balancing my creative and analytical slides to design meaningful experiences for my clients and family. For my husband, his high introspection and process oriented mindset make him perfect for roles requiring detailed planning, thoughtful execution. As a partner, his humility and inclusivity, kind of ensures our family operates as a cohesive unit. For a son, his GBP suggests he'll flourish in dynamic and fast paced environments. For a daughter, her ability to lead with energy and practicality makes her very well suited for roles in arts, problem solving, or entrepreneurship. When you look at this quadrant, it's almost like a family personality quiz. You might even have some fun with it. I mean, how each person might humorously react to being plotted on this chart. I am a balanced, intuitive, and creative leader, pretty much the jack of all trade, master of none. Okay. And I kind of have a lot of creative flair. My husband, high energy, analytic, but with humble and deliberate slide, like almost like the chief strategy officer of the family, very calm and measured steps. Okay, but can we do it now? When we say something like that, he's got a very slow and steady approach to it. My son, who's a trailblazer, I mean, let's do something wild, let's do something amazing, let's keep doing something, right? You always feel like you're trying to catch up with a moving rocket, right? Except the rocket is actually full of great ideas when you listen to it. And my daughter, well, this is chaos, but it's manageable. That is the kind of motto that she has. Let's make things practical but creative also. She is actually the unsung hero of my family dynamic, keeping things from spiraling too far off course. So that's about my family. Next is about this separate case study that I'm going to do on my DDS one. Let me introduce X, a 37-year-old with a profile that illustrates the depth and applications of GBP. Now, X's energy level is notably high, indicating excellent physical and mental stamina. Now, this is ideal for someone with high pressure profession, as it allows them to handle demanding tasks, make quick decisions, and manage multiple responsibilities effectively. Her design, prefrontal C3D1, innovative and dynamic decision making, C3C3, frontal, high emotional stability, in parietal A1A1, very intuitive and action oriented, temporal A3A2, balanced, logical, yet empathetic, occipital A1A1, goal focused and task oriented. Energy 201 is also exceptionally high, enabling multitasking and sustained productivity. She's slightly left oriented, highlighting analytical mindset. Left brain dominance also emphasize logical reasoning, analytical thinking, and task oriented behavior. Now, this particular trait is very critical for X's role, where decisions require precision, structured process, and attention to detail. Now, if you look at her smartness profile, when you look at a smartness profile, she's high on cosmic intelligence and self-intelligence. That shows that this individual has deep understanding of themselves and strong connection to larger, concepts. They're introspective. They likely enjoy contemplating bigger picture. This makes them a natural thinker who excels in roles requiring self-reflection, philosophical, exploration, and deep problem solving. They are also high on word and logic, strong verbal and logical skills, great at reasoning, problem solving, and communicating ideas effectively. Right, well suited for any fields that require clear communication, structured thinking. They are lowest on picture, music, and body. This may or may not come to them direct, naturally, physical coordination. However, this does not mean that they cannot improve, because with time and effort, they may just need to approach how they learn it in a different manner. If you look at their MI based learning profiles, high on introspective and interactive learning, this person thrives in environments where they can reflect deeply while also engaging with others in meaningful ways. They likely learn best through personal reflection and collaboration. Discussion based learning or group activities is very ideal for them, especially when they can reflect on their experiences and actively engage with others. Next, on analytical learning, they also perform well in analytical settings where they can break down complex problems and think logically. Very capable of seeing patterns, making connections, um, and activities like mathematics or even strategic planning are areas they would excel in. Genetic based MI questions, if you look at it, high SQ next to EQ suggests that, makes them very emotionally sensitive, good at navigating social dynamics, maintaining strong interpersonal relationships. They're skilled at understanding emotional needs of those around them, which is useful actually both in personal and professional contexts. Creativity quotient, very solid IQ and creativity quotient. They can approach problems with logical reasoning while also think outside the box. This balance kind of gives them, they'll be good at, very good at adapting in dynamic fields like technology, arts, or any career that kind of involves thinking and rational planning. Their adversity quotient is the lowest. Actually, this means that the person struggles when faced with setbacks or adversity. But while they may excel in many areas, building resilience is the key for their growth. So, in practical terms, if you look at it, their strength in communication and leadership will take them through. They thrive in learning settings, and their potential career paths could be therapy, counseling, coaching, leadership role in creative fields, education, or academia. Just to bring this into focus, we were validated when we were speaking to this particular client, where because this client is a leading doctor in Tirchi, along with she also manages administrates this hospital, which takes over complete welfare. It takes it's not specializing in everything, in anything particular. It takes general patients in. So, and it's a leading hospital in Trichy also. So we were validated by all this data when we spoke to her also. Her genetic behavioral style is high on dominance, steadiness, compliance, and lowest on influence. So this person is naturally assertive, decisive, and comfortable taking charge when necessary. They likely enjoy taking control of situations. Strong preference for leadership in a structured environment that values decisiveness and direction. They have a calm and consistent approach to work and relationships, and that steadiness is probably what is helping them in being an excellent doctor, and also in being an administrator, hospital administrator also. Compliance, high compliance score indicates that they value rules, procedures, and accuracy. Lowest on influence, meaning they may not particularly focus on persuading or influencing others. They might avoid roles that require heavy interpersonal persuasion or emotional appeal. They would suggest, they would prefer a more direct communication style than one that relies on charm or emotional engagement. So this when we look at their MBTI profile, this individual actually places greater emphasis on processes rather than end goal or performance outcome. They're likely to find they're someone who finds satisfaction in the journey, like how things are done, than the steps followed and ensuring consistency. So they are task oriented and patience for detail they would have. This means they are likely to thrive in work environments where attention to detail is paramount rather than highly competitive or performance driven environments. Work preference is higher on task and technology. So, very comfortable when they have tangible tasks and solving technical challenges. They are more energized by working through tasks rather than managing people or engaging in social activities. Lower on people, they may not be drawn towards roles that require heavy social interaction. They are likely to perform best in environments that they can work independently or smaller teams. So when we spoke with her, we understood one more thing. She has a smaller team under her. So she relays information to them and they get the job done. So she is able to manage that small team of 5 to 10 people. And the 5 to 10 manage the rest 100 and 150 people under them. Working preferences outdoors over indoors. She actually enjoys going for conferences. She enjoys, going out every now and then and taking vacations. And she wants to bring relatability between the outside world and the medical world. She's trying to do an innovative healing therapy like that. So this kind of validated that they excel in roles that involve outdoor tasks. They do thrive on technology driven role and work environment, but they need that flexibility in work environments like engineering in remote locations, environmental conservation, outdoor research, things like that. um, Potential strengths for her is strategic foresight, high energy, exceptional leadership skills, strong emotional intelligence, deep sense of purpose, analytical, goal oriented mindset with excellent multitasking abilities. Growth areas would be limited adaptability and creativity. She would need to, step out of her comfort zone quite frequently to explore unstructured and innovative solutions. Now, tendency also is there to, rely on established processes because of high convention, and this needs to be balanced by embracing flexibility and spontaneity. In excess profile, this impacts her role seamlessly as a doctor and hospital committee leader because her introspection, people intelligence, and strategic thinking enable her to lead effectively while staying committed to societal well-being. Okay, so you know how we spend half of our lives trying to find ourselves, right? But it often feels like we're looking for a treasure chest that's been buried under a pile of laundry. We always keep searching for it. Now, enter genetic brain profiling, and suddenly it feels like someone has handed us the map to the treasure, and all that lost time feels like it was just waiting for us to start digging. Like almost the universe is waiting for us to start introspecting. When I first saw my GVP report, it hit me. I wasn't lost. I was just undiscovered. It's like finding out you've been sitting on a gold mine the whole time, but you didn't know it. As I went deeper into this journey of self discovery, I realized GBP is not just a fancy buzzword. It's a superpower that helps us unlock our potential. And trust me, the profiles of my family, myself, and ex are proof that this stuff actually works. It's like having a cheat code to life, revealing what makes each of us tick and how we can work in harmony to level up together. Now let's start with my family. If I could get a medal for teamwork, my husband and would be winning the gold, because if I wasn't at any point of time, hits to him, I would have just been floating around with some ideas and never brought anything into fruition. So together we make a dynamic duo. He's the calm in the storm, and I'm the one, well, who kind of stirs up the storm. But we kind of make it work. And then there are the kids who are, living proof that individuality is everything. They are twins. My son Srihari has energy levels that would make an energizer bunny jealous. Now you might think it is not a big score, but understand when in comparison to our family, his is the highest energy level. He's got leadership presence that demands attention. And my Harini is a creative and pioneering daughter that kind of reminds me daily that every child has boundless potential when we give them the right space and understanding. With X, her GBP profile is like a plot twist in your favorite movie. You think you know her, and then bam, she's got this high emotional and spiritual quotients that make her a total trailblazer. She combines commanding leadership with a down to earth humility, and that makes you want to follow her to the ends of earth. Her ability to balance personal growth with societal impact make her a force for good in her field. If there was a most likely to change in the world superlative, X would win it hands down. So, in a nutshell, GBP isn't just a fancy report, it's a treasure map to understanding ourselves, our loved ones, whether it's navigating family dynamics or leading a massive hospital. It helps us uncover a true potential, work together in harmony. It's like having a cheat code for life, but better because this one's built right into us. Now, GBP again, I would like to stress it's not a personal growth tool, it's a tool for transformation. Now, imagine if every parent, teacher, and employer understood how people truly function. The world would be a more empathetic, efficient, and harmonious place. At its core, it's about understanding one's strength or weakness, aligning with one's true design to live a life full of purpose and fulfillment. Whether it's strengthening family bonds, excelling in profession, or guiding children towards their full potential, This provides a roadmap for realizing the unique brilliance within each of us. As a family, it has given us a shared language to navigate life's challenges, celebrate its triumphs. For individuals like X, it offers clarity and empowerment, allowing her to make more informed decisions and lead with intention. For the society at large, GBP has the potential to revolutionize education, parenting, leadership by emphasizing that no two individuals are the same and every person's journey is uniquely valuable. In this process of discovery, actually, gratitude becomes essential companion. Gratitude for our unique designs, opportunities to grow, connections that this GBP has helped us build is not about science behind the profile. It's about embracing our true inherent purpose and working towards a life that's not only successful but deeply meaningful. This is the essence of self-discovery, a journey that begins within but has the power to transform the world around us. Even though I've gained deep insights every time I do I sit with Jaisri ma'am and do a decoding, I do a plan and nurturing session. I know this, it's not the end. It's a GBP. It's not a destination. It's an ongoing journey. I actually, compare my charts when she keeps telling me so that there is some more facets that I can discover. The more we kind of explore, the more we uncover about, ourselves and those around us. Today, when I was talking to her, she very subtly pointed out the powerful difference between two states: smiling despite carrying sadness within, and smiling because one person has embraced their hardships. The first one is all about endurance, the second one is all about acceptance. True strength comes not just from bearing burdens, but making peace with them, understanding that joy and struggle can coexist. Acceptance does not erase its difficulties, but it lightens the weight, allowing us to kind of move forward with grace rather than resistance. Thank you all for being a part of this journey. I hope this has sparked curiosity and excitement about genetic brain profiling in each one of you. And remember, the more we know about ourselves, the less we will need external validation. Let's keep exploring, evolving, and embracing our uniqueness. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jaisri. I would like to hear from the audience. Anyone would like to give a feedback? And then Jaisri, and then I'll tell my comments.
Sir, may I stop sharing?
You can.
Thank you, sir.
Jaisri, very good presentation, Jaisri. The energy level was the same throughout your presentation. It was nice listening to you. And congratulations for completing your self-discovery successfully. Welcome to the family.
Thank
All
you.
the best for your next level, Jaisri.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay. Yeah, anyone else? Please raise your hand. Yeah, please go ahead, Jaisri.
Now we have Punjabication here, and yeah, I'd love to hear. Sumesh is here. Does anybody want to add on something?
Yeah, even Priya is there. Yeah.
Yes, Priya is here.
Yeah, awesome, ma'am. Like, I really love the language, and this R1, kind of when we were all beginning, R1 was like R always had some potential, but this nowadays when I see R, I'm kind of getting a good feel that they are special and they can be nurtured and awesome. So every what do you call, profile is unique and awesome. So that is what I see from her presentation. Great, a lot of energy. Good luck.
Thank you, Sumesh. We do have an R1 as a mentor of mentors here. So, and yeah, that's what I'm reminded of too. Thank you so much. Punjabication, sir.
Yes, ma'am. No words to say, ma'am. Fantastic. Actually, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
I strongly believe this R1. This is she's just step into the MiDNA. I think she can do wonders in MiDNA. That is what I can able to right now tell. This is not far away. The wonders in MiDNA is not far away for her. Thank you.
Absolutely. My birthplace, Trichy, Tanjavur is getting fortified. The right members. Punjabication also there. Yeah. So Amrita, yeah, Davan Priya. Yeah, I can say great job. Yeah, I can hear congratulations. Anybody else? Banu is here.
Yeah, so sorry, I joined very late. I joined towards the end. The whole session was in the, it was on the last slide. I just saw the last slide and I think I missed a wonderful session. But yeah, the way it was concluded, it showed that it must have had a very good flow of thought. So, congratulations and welcome to the family. I will surely watch the whole session in the link that will be shared by sir. I'll view the recording. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody else? Banu, anybody? Gomiti, all the new ones. Do you want to say something? Nivedita Srinath is here.
I think you can go ahead, Jaisri.
Yeah, so that's amazing. I will say the sheer that kind of baffled me too. I did tell her yesterday, slow down a bit so that we capture the humor that you have spun into your work,
Yes.
which was something, we had to be that sharp. It was like listening to my grandchild, who's in the US and speaking in with that kind of speed, and then I have to be all ears, and she tests me every time I miss out a pun in the thing. And I was giggling and laughing here. I wish many of them also got it on the same way. Amazing work, Jaisri. I will say your humility is fantastic. It's very touching. As Sir always says, you're highly emulative. And that is one. Two is the way you capture every word. So one thing that I appreciate about her, Dr. Ratna, is that every time we have to do a decoding, she will first write it down. She'll say what it is that she sees, literally make a note of it, and then she will reveal that. She'll send the note to me. I have to go through that first, and then we will have to sit down. Apart from my inputs at this one, and she's also very careful, I think, for all mentees to learn, is that when we do the decoding to the client directly, the first few sessions, she allows me to take over, and then she listens to see whether I'm being, one of the comparisons she made is she's very factual, but that emotional connect is very required for the client. And that is when the aha moments happen. So she was like, I'm going to work on this wow moments with the client. So that's where she's working. That kind of observation is very, very touching. She's into a lot of things and is capable of a lot of things. But yes, she needs processes to be. A huge applause to her husband, who ensured that she went into an exhibition, part of that, in order to start getting the scans itself. But all that you have to do is ஒரு dot காமிச்சு line போடுறது மட்டும் இல்ல, design போட்டுருவாங்க. That is definitely there with her. Congratulations, all the very best. I am hoping a great future. She's already connected with NIT. She's already connected with some schools. I think it's going to explode from here onwards, Dr. Ratna. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jaisri. Sometimes we complete sessions even after 1 hour. Today, I was wondering right from the beginning whether it will cross 30 minutes or not.
It was a 2-hour content packed in 30 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes those fast processing people, when an audio bit comes, they put in 2x and try to listen because one is too slow for them. Okay, like that, even this recording, somebody will play in 0.5 and try to see whether they can grasp a lot of information. As you very rightly said, lot of very interesting words were weaved in the conversation. I think people were like you are running with Usain Bolt. Okay, so you keep one stride, he is covering 3 strides, and that is how it is. Yeah, those who are moderate processors will find, oh God, she's telling a lot of things, but I have to listen once again. Like Priya said, that moderate processor will like to look for the recording because a lot of information was there, and probably they couldn't grasp. That's the difficulty. So the first thing I would like to advise you is you have to take breaks. Okay. very conscious breaks, like you can even drink a sip of water. Okay, in a conversation, you just say, you want to say something. Okay, I give a 2 minutes time for you to respond. Because what usually happens is this fast process think that let me complete my whole version and let afterwards they speak. But I don't think everybody has the ability to, unless they write down their doubts and ask, which cannot be happening in such a fast pace of conversation. Before they write something, you would have gone to the next slide or next segment of the report. So I think I continue to recommend. I do have a problem. On the right side of the brain, I'm fast, but on the left side, I'm normal. Okay, so somewhere it is a mix that is helping me in the counseling. If required, I come back, and the minute I see I'm going faster, I tend to repeat it, even if the other person feels it is understood, but I still make it a point. So, like I continue to say, if you are a fast processor, think of dividers and barricades and speed breakers. That's needed for you. Okay, otherwise you skid. Okay, because too fast means you will not be touching the ground, and you will skid, and you will definitely feel you have reached the destination but in broken pieces. Okay, so that is something you need to remember, because nowadays I see a lot of children are coming with fast processor. They are Instagram, made for Instagram, instantaneous gratification. Okay, and that is not really good for a life, actually, to be very honest. Because, like the story we have heard before, you should neither be a rabbit nor be a tortoise. It's a combination of together. So if you are a rabbit, find a tortoise as your partner, so that you will get frustrated, but you will do good in the long run. But if you think life is a 100 meters dash, I think you will reach, but then you will die out of boredom. Okay, you will die of boredom. What you will do once you have reached nowadays, that is what is quarterly crisis, it is being told. The age of 25, you have achieved everything in life. Now, what else you will do? You will die. Now, the rest of the life, you will not have anything to do. So it's, remember, it's like some people just see the headlines of the book and close the book. What are you going to achieve with that? Go through the lines only, then you will know in between lines what is there. If you don't sail through in a paced manner, okay, life is definitely you achieve something, but you get bored. See, people are dying out of boredom. People are dying out of frustration. Both of them are coming from the fast processor and the moderate processor. People die out of loneliness. People die because there is so much stress is there. So wanting to be alone is not a problem, but preferring loneliness is a disorder, actually. So right brain people tend to be, when they are not combined with others, engaged with others, then they feel loneliness. Okay, that is the curse of the I, the P also, the INTP. The P part is definitely, there's a message. And if you have a F and P, then you have it even more, because you are feeling and you are also perceiving a bigger life for you. You want everybody to be around, and people are not around because you are no more a heroine, you are no more a celebrity. Okay, because those things and all cannot last for long. Then your market is not there, then somebody else comes and takes your place, then you feel you are useless and probably get depressed. So F and P are quite a bit cautiously we have to handle children when they are very young. And similarly, left side of the brain is too much of stress. You end up getting blood pressure, cardiac problems, cholesterol, all that, like you people say butterfly in the tummies. But if all the time butterflies go ahead, then it becomes a problem. You can't enjoy that. So that anxiety prone is coming from the left side of the brain when you are a fast processor. Okay, depression is inevitable if you are a fast processor and the right brain. So I continue to recommend and tell everyone the balance within is the very important thing. And the 4 quadrants within is left and the right, the process and the goal. Okay, if you understand the the challenges of imbalance there, I think we can do something about it. I definitely love the way you have put things across, and the words they used, I think quite good. And I think vocabulary, the fluency, I think you are a made person. Somebody has shaped you, the environment, the parents, the teachers, the mentors, whomsoever come across. Because you are water, you start from the Himalayas, reaching to the Bengal. But what flows within you, you don't mind it, but you flow with them. So if it is all tirtham, it starts like a tirtham, but it ends up in like a dirty water because of the influence that the people around can make in that flow or water that we can see. So for you, my only message is consciously slow down. I would even say you should put your slides in a time frame manner. Till the slide is changing, you should not stop talking. You can talk more, that is all right. But what is happening is the session is ending little earlier. Because when you talk for a single slide, then probably you will contemplate more ways of telling the same information. Maybe it is possible somebody would get the second time and probably grasp it. Okay, that's very important. Because if you go with this speed, you can complete 5 counselings in 1 hour. Okay, but then that's not something we are supposed to be working on. And I also feel those who are fast processors enjoy talking to the adults than children, because children definitely need more patient communicator. You can't rush through it. Okay, because once we go through our life, certain things you need not deliberately expand it, but for children you definitely need. So I think your HR role was quite a good role, except that the sharks, there will be crocodiles and sharks in the industry. That's something you may have to deal with them very carefully. It's not an easier thing, but I really love the My Learning Center. Maybe had you joined MiDNA before that, you could have made MI Learning Center, which could have been even more appropriate where to put it. Even now you can add something like multiple intelligence, smartness, something you can add on to just make it as a tagline that emphasize on that. Because my learning says that every learning is unique, but your learning, finding out that is something very important, and this is the flawless, authentic way of understanding the children. I'm sure counseling is going to bore you a little bit, I must warn you, because you have to talk so much of the routine stuff. With every client, you have to start from alphabet and say how the is and was and will happen. Maybe now you have had enough number of that enthusiasm to say something which it gets registered. Okay, you get registered there. But then after some time, you will say, oh God, somebody should help me in filtering my clients. I just want to be what you can say, taking the money and say a few words and make the payment and go away kind of role, you will do well. So I strongly recommend you should find some more Srirams who will do the process-centric roles. The client comes.
Yeah, Sriram is not going to be very happy hearing that, but yes, some more Srirams. Interesting,
Yes.
very.
Yeah. For him, because there's a small X in the left frontal, I don't think you will enjoy
I
it.
just wanted to add that by design, she is also tutoring a lot of young children.
Okay.
And that is also bringing that Tehra into her. Literally practice. She's truly on track with the suggestions.
But I'll also tell you the another interesting thing is nowadays a lot of children are coming with fast processes.
Yes,
So
exactly.
maybe you get tuned to them well, but nevertheless, I must tell you, children must be told to be more process. Okay, it is not a good idea to teach a 4-year-old kid the internet, the Instagram kind of stuff. It's not a good thing, because the same we are only increasing their boredom come earlier than in their life. So I would say many people curse the education system, saying that what is the use of memory? It is not going to be useful in life. But that is not the way to be looked into it, because if you learn something what people study in degrees, then what you will do when you have to study degrees? So it is very important that we must go through on a certain pace. because fast and furious is dangerous and you end up messing up your life and definitely don't know. Then you have to become only a sannyasi, what is that? Kumbh Mela, you become a Naga Baba. That is what you have to do. But at least men can do that, women cannot even do that. So I think somewhere we need to tell the children, slow down, moderate, gallop. Okay, come on, let us go faster. But if somebody is faster, take 4 breaths, very long breath. Meditation will work for adults. For children, you have to create barricades and barriers and slowing down. Pay for the slow. You reward them for doing the work slowly. Okay, not making any careless mistakes. Don't pay the reward for the best marks or good marks. Reward them for not making any mistake. If you don't know, it is all right. But knowingly, you are not, writing it well and getting it. That is where that patience and that kind of, nunipul mayor. It's kind of you eat only the top surface. Then who will eat the bottom? Okay, so that is something we need to tell the children. And earlier you do it, the best. So with my learning center, you have a potential to receive children of a younger age, but don't run with the parents to make them super singers when they are 3 and 4. It is a very, very boring. All those genius discovered at an early stage and overutilized are dying out of boredom. I would say, know your potential, you can reach it, but enjoy the process of traveling and not the destination. Many people in the road are going on 120 km speed, wanting to reach home. What they do there? They again do something which is not relevant to life. So be in the now. I think that is the wow. So if you want to really experience the benefit of this brain neural structure, the present, the being in the now is utmost important. But people are not knowing that their design is not favoring to that. And like you said very rightly, if the acceptance is coming, then your life is opening up. Then only. Because many people want to deny that they have that difficulty, but then that's their design, that's their destiny that they have to go through. But our duty is to tell that you are too fast, trying to be a little slower. You are too slower, you will not be able to reach your destination. This life is not certainly available for an unlimited time. So moderate processors need to know that the day is only 24 hours for me. It is not 36 hours. And the fast processors know, even if I complete my work in 4 hours, still I have to wait for 20 hours to sleep, okay, to complete the day. So this is the balance. And I'm sure, see, the one thing I think Sumesh was not able to really put it across. The message is that when you are reflective, more of reflective, you are shaped by the environment. Okay, then depends on what kind of environment you are blessed with. Okay, it can be disaster also, it can be glorious also. Similarly, when the moderate processors, because they are not allowing the changes so easily, changes are not happening to them. Neural connections are not happening. Okay, so there is a blessing and there is a and the curse also is there, pain also is there. Mindfully deal with yourself, and at the end of the day, the balance within the left and the right, the up and the bottom, and the top and the bottom, that balance is something we must work on. And I continue to take this opportunity to thank you for such a wonderful session, very short duration. Excellent presentation of your thoughts. You have learned more than what you were expected to learn. I wish you should have given directly 2.0 in my opinion, because the understanding has been quite confident. And the kind of social media posts and the exhibition, I don't think anybody has done this kind of approach towards before they are 1.0. So you can that point you can remove, you can call it as even 1.0, that's justified. But the message, the kind of thing that you need to do is, see, when we are too exuberant and it's also we are likely to feel lost in something also. Okay, so ensure that the sustainability, the steadiness, and the consistency, the compliance part of it is something. I will tell you, if you train one or two counselors consciously who are process oriented, you can sit in the top and just oversee like I will give you hints, you go and speak. Okay, that you will do excellently well. The leadership skills, the confidence you exhibited in the nowadays, the newcomers are struggling even to find out what will work for them. So somehow your exposure to that exhibition and then the scans and then counseling with your fast processor, I think all of them have complemented your thing. And just ensure that you have a team. Okay, you have a people, and now then you go to corporates or schools and kind of stuff. Please don't bank on your own other energy, because you are a small battery. After every half an hour you have to be charged. So don't take up a very long lasting or higher demanding work. Okay, so and you have enough homework at home itself. Your daughter is Xerox copy of you. Now you know awarefully how you have gone through life difficulties. And I continue to say, for you and your daughter, boundary coaching is very much needed. Otherwise, you lose yourself in somebody's compulsion. And a person like your son can put you into a lot of stress and difficulties if they don't understand that you have a very limited resource. So taxing too much. See, I will also tell you, because you are a right brainer and diverging, you could handle this many things parallelly. As you have a center, you do GBP, you also have children, and all the years all of them you are able to handle because you are a diverging. But something is missing in you because that left brain balancing hasn't taken place. So I would say spend some self time, focus, introspect on your difficulties that you go through. You are very fragile. Okay, very fragile. If people can easily hurt you and you will be crying in the restroom. I don't want to ask now how frequently you cry in your
No,
bathrooms.
I have no problems in saying that, sir. I am actually emotionally, yes. I
Right.
take my breaks back. My husband wouldn't even understand why am I crying, but yes, அன்னைக்கு சொன்னது
But
இப்போ
then,
ஞாபகம் இருக்கும். That is
right.
there.
So you do cry, but then I do, it is justified, it's all right. But you have to come out and say, no, that I need to be a little more stronger. Because it is very natural that the softer people are troubled more. Okay, always dogs chase a dog that is running away. But if you turn back and say bow, then others will stop. So you should learn to say some bows once in a while, so that people know that at times you can be little rough and tough or ruthless also. So for your daughter being very young, I think this boundary coaching is something very good idea you must learn. And she should say something if she is not comfortable, not that you need to continue to all the time go with whatever is saying. Fast processes sometimes helps because you understand people very easily, because you are grasping the information, what is their intentions are. So strategies are not happening, but their concrete experience, which is actually doing the retaliation part of it, is not actually happening there. Okay, so I think a lot of inputs that need to be comprehended to handle your family. But I think as a professional, you will do well, and I strongly recommend that you sit on the top of the ladder and have a team, like you said, for the doctor. And yeah, that will be a good idea. People will appreciate your that on the foot thinking, overthinking on the foot. That is something you are doing very excellently well. So you just take the report, one glance, you are done. Okay, that will happen over a period of time. So be prepared to be a leader and not a employee, a kind of person who does counseling. I strongly believe that without C and S, counseling will be boring after some time. Okay, maybe it's okay in the initial, because everything is new, so maybe some euphoria, exuberance, and thrill is definitely there. Okay, we go through it, but I think to long sustaining genetic brain profiling expertise, you need a C and a S. That's very important. But you can get businesses, you can convince people will come to you. Then you said, go to the nurse and get all your tests done and come to me. Okay, that's the kind of idea. You have to be a specialist, not a generalist. Okay, so keep that in mind. I think you'll do well. I'm so happy that in Trichy we have been struggling for quite some time to find a very exuberant person who will think in my frequency. That's very important, you know. Okay, so I see a lot of similarities there. Please continue to sustain that steadiness and compliance is what is the stability part of it, sustainability part of it. So achievement is one thing. Consistently doing that is another thing. I wish that you keep that in mind and work. Build leaders. You need not to have to work. Okay, a strategist, a planning, a kind of person who can get the work done. I think that's going to be your strength. All the very best, and thank you, everyone. The 22 of you who have found to come here, and I continue to believe all the right brainers have the magic of, you know, attracting people because you think with your right brain. The lunar energy, the magnet, the vibes, all of them are helping. And I'm sure in our network, if somebody can be having a maximum number of Instagram followers, that will be Jaisri. That is my hope. Let us see. She'll prove it right because her content and delivery and confidence that she puts in the Instagram reels are all quite good. And you do only the Instagram part of it. The rest and all, you can hire people to do the work. I think that would be my concluding statement.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Right.
you.
Okay then. Thank you very much. Take
Thank
care.
you, sir. Thank you, mom.
Bye.
Thank you all.
All the best.